We're very excited to have you all on the call. And we are really seeing an explosion that we did not anticipate. I am speaking to new agents daily now, and we're having people that were with United First Financial that just seem to be popping up left and right that have been we've had old Worth agents that have been disengaged. I'm telling you something, people, right now, absolute fact. Moving the presentation over to, and thank you, Virginia, for letting me know that that I'm coming through loud and clear. Moving the presentation over to the ALOC presentation and doing the ALOC demo and really increasing our footprint on Facebook has really helped us quite a bit. And I really want to thank some people out in the field, Darlene Preston, Joan Hackenstad, Sam Skaggs, some brand new newcomers that are coming on. Pete Abraham used to be with us for a long time out there making sales. John Bozier came online and started making sales. Flavio Imanez is just tearing it up. New recruits are coming in all over the place. I'm telling you right now, if you thought things were a little bit slow for you in moving or getting yourself going with Worth Unlimited, I think you all know me well enough by now that have been on the calls. I'm not a big rah-rah guy. I mean, I love the product, and I have a great passion for the product, but I've really been a trainer most of my life with this product, especially being associated with these guys. In December, this will be 16 years that I will have been associated with Skylar Whitman and John Washenko. Some of the people that are coming on board, you know, are just amazing in this area. And, you know, I always have people that are looking out for me. And Joan just let me know, you know, the webinar hadn't started yet. Are you okay? And I started right at 6:01. And I just have to be honest, I got stuck on a call with a new individual that's looking at us to become an agent, looking at us to buy the product, wanted to have a corporate touch and feel. Pete Abraham, just about 30 minutes before the call started, called me from somebody's living room so I could do the 10-minute, you know, kind of touchy-feely with that individual. And let them know that, you know, we're welcoming them to the company and let them know what we're about. So I do want to let you know, feel free to ask for my cell number. Feel free to get me on the phone to get in touch with individuals that, you know, you may have on the fence about joining the company. I have a whole series of reply emails that have things like the comp program in them, have our different packages in them, have some screenshots from our promo, things of that nature. I'm going to go ahead and pause the screen, and I'm just going to show you an email here real quick that I've been sending out to people that are asking questions. And I do want to let you know something else. If somebody calls into the company, we are very definite on finding out how did you find out about us. Never, and people that have known me for a long time never have any second thoughts that we're going to take your agent or we're going to take your deal. I want to make it very clear. We do not sign up agents directly to Worth Unlimited. Everyone that signs up goes through a sponsor. If that individual that calls us is a Facebook lead, which some of my agents in the field have seen this, if they're a Facebook lead, if they do not have a sponsor, we ask them what area they're in. We try to place them with somebody that's in their area. We turn over that contact information, and usually to be getting leads from us, you need to be at that level of executive director or above to be getting leads from us. But I know people on the call right now that have received leads from us, and they can affirm that because they know who they are. I wanted to say thank you to Vladimir for being on the call. I've been in email conversation with Vladimir for quite some time now, and hasn't really made his decision on which way he wants to go, but thank you for being on the call this evening, Vladimir, and hopefully we can pick up the conversations. I wanted to pull up an email and just kind of give you a view, and let me just find one here real quick that I've sent recently to somebody. And let me see, I think this one will do it. All right. Let me go to here. All right, so I'm going to shrink this. I'm going to pull this over here and see if I can show you this without revealing the gentleman's name, because I don't really want to. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show my screen. This right here is a type of email that I'm sending out to individuals that are checking the company out for the first time. Great to hear from you as you still run analysis for the client, but you forfeit a portion of your commission. Nearing the end of this email, you'll see shots representing assisted closing. We run the analysis, close the deal, or you introduce, run the analysis, and close. I'd had a couple other correspondences with this gentleman. We would welcome the opportunity to assist you in joining Worth Unlimited and purchasing the program. Everyone joins. This is what I wanted you to see. Everyone joins the company and purchases the program under a sponsor. We can assist you with the sponsor as well. To get started, option 1, option 2, we go down here and we show the 90-day starter package, direct to director, what those commissions look like. A note that the $3,500 price is still available. October promo, what assisted closing commissions look like. You introduce and close the sale. I've also attached compensation plan, the Monday night call. You can see the comp plan there. The reason that I'm showing you this is I want you all to have a full degree of confidence that when people call our office, they're not just left out to the wind. I am very active on responding to inquiries. The number of inquiries are pretty mind-boggling. I always redirect the client back to the individual that invited them to the call, or if they found out about Facebook, again, giving those out to executive directors and above. But I need to know that you're engaged. I need to know that you're selling. I need to know that you're doing something with this. Darlene this weekend is holding 2 live meetings, hosting for Darlene and Harry Preston, hosting for Deb LaRue and a couple other people on her team in Wilmington, North Carolina. You can find all of this on your agent portal, line of live events that are coming up. I send out emails to those areas as reminders. I just want you to know that we are seeing we're seeing something happen we haven't seen in a very, very long time, just an absolute explosion of interest. And I put it to the quality of individuals we've had on the call doing the trainings. I put it to flipping it back to the ALOC. Now, for those of you that are brand new or haven't been on a call in a while or whatever, an ALOC is our acronym for Advanced Line of Credit. So everybody says, well, why don't you just call it a HELOC? Well, the reason why is the way the program has been set up and the way the program has been designed and what is going on with the program. It's not just a HELOC that will drive the program. There's different types of lines of credit. Now, the most common utilized is a home equity line of credit or a HELOC, but unsecured lines, secured lines, business lines, personal lines, all of these will operate as a driving factor for the Worth Account program, as well as we know it runs with a checking and savings account just as well. So I've had a lot of people ask me the question about checking and savings accounts, and the reality is this. If you are dealing with about, let's say, a $250,000 mortgage, and let's say you're at 4%, and let's say you're on a 30-year note, your differential in payoff with a line of credit and we're saying that we're talking apples to apples, same amount of expenses and things of that nature, same amount of income. If you're using a HELOC or you're using a checking and savings account on a $250,000 mortgage at about 4 to 4.5%, the differential of payoff between checking and savings and a home equity line of credit is only 3.5 months. So I guess that really begs the question, does the checking and savings method operate? Of course it does. It pays off about 3 to 4 months later than using a home equity line. And I want you to really understand that the idea of using the home equity line of credit as your driving factor is the whole concept of wealth accumulation, the whole concept of getting an equity line worth the value of your home, the whole concept of having available money that you can use for whatever you want to use it for, the idea of multiple properties, investing in multiple properties, buying multiple doors, having renters in those, and then understanding the concept of how when you buy a property and you have rental income if your property is paid off, how this begins to accelerate that process of being able to acquire more and more properties. So the idea of the home equity line of credit is a very smart way of using the bank's instruments, and we educate people through that process with the program for that wealth accumulation side. Now, I'm not telling you to go out and take your home equity line of credit and buy a house on a first position home equity line of credit. I'm not saying you couldn't do that if you feel comfortable with that degree of risk. The idea is building a legacy for yourself. And we have found for so many people their lack of understanding of finance, how money truly operates, they feel trapped. They feel locked down in their current situation, that their life will be nothing more than working and paying bills, and they can never rise out above that. I used to do some scenarios showing that if somebody made $60,000 a year, they potentially could be a millionaire in the same amount of time that they would work and have multiple properties on that type of income. And this is really doable. People just don't, for the most part, understand how money flows and how it operates. And I think that is one of the key pieces that we need to get people to wrap their mind around with the Worth Account program. It's not just about debt elimination. As a company, you've seen this screenshot many times. Welcome to the Worth team. I cannot emphasize how many people's lives have changed just from the idea of change through education, the idea that they are now educated on how money operates. They're educated on their budget. I was talking to a young lady today. Her name is Yamina. Yamina is brand new to the company. Yamina is somebody that Edgar Solis and Flavio Jimenez found, and she is a tax preparer. And she purchased the product for herself because she wanted to make sure she knew how it worked before she offered it to her clients. And I've had several conversations with her. This young lady's already sold 3 total deals. She hasn't even been in the company more than 3 weeks. And she sold 3 deals and recruited like 4 people already. You can't just sit around on your hands with this. And I'm not pointing to any one person. I see H. Paul Richter is on the call tonight. And this is another gentleman that I've been in continual conversations with on email. And welcome to the call. Paul, it's phenomenal to see you on the call, and I hope you get a good message this evening from our training. A lot of what our business is all about is just inviting people. Invite them to view the information. Don't try to put the strong arm on them or convince them this is the way to go. Just give them the information. What we do know is the debt problem in America, the wealth accumulation side in America, has never been truly solved. We still have a problem with rampant debt, with unmanaged debt in America. And if you speak to most people, and I'm talking broad majority, I'm being overly generalistic, most people do not have a really good retirement plan in place. A lot of people lost everything they had in 2000, in '01 in the events of 9/11. A lot of people lost stuff in the mortgage crunch. 1.2 million businesses went out of business in America as a result of the mortgage meltdown of 2008. And we've never repaired this situation. The education financially that we provide through the program, that we provide through support, that we provide just by you using the program and seeing the program can be a life changer for many people. By you being the kind face of this company, by you being the individual just sharing the information, you would be amazed how many people just come out of the woodwork that are like, wow, 3 months later, I heard about this and I remember you talking to, and I'm in a position now where I would like to do something with this. Follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up. These people that I've mentioned that are on the call that I was glad to see on the call, they know what my follow-up's like. We're talking 5, 6, 7 emails to each one of these people, and I can keep listing people that I see on this call that are brand new. Those are just 2 that popped right out in the very forefront because I had recent conversations with both of them over emails. Another thing that we have always been very deep into is make a difference you can be proud of. Don't just sell something that you walk away from. Make a friend, make a client, follow them, track them. Get testimonials out of these people when they get on the product. Make sure they've been set up on the product. Follow up with them after you sign them up as an agent or you sell them the product. Did you get in touch with support? Have you set your program up? If they bought the program a week ago and they haven't set it up, if I was the agent, I would be saying, what are you waiting for? Don't you realize that's a week that you've given more money to the bank than you had to? Robert Fougray, good to see you on the call. Another individual that I've had a couple conversations with, and glad to see that you're taking the time to jump on the call and see what this is all about and where we are. What is going on with Worth Unlimited is extremely exciting right now. You're coming into a very strong time. I've seen this happen before. Now, I don't want to jinx it, and I don't want to say where we're headed, but I know as sure as I'm sitting here on the phone talking to you that something big is starting to happen with Worth Unlimited. Bank like a bank. Take control of your future. Be your own boss. But all of this comes down to one thing. You need to take action. You need to get out and share the information. And so many of us are the ones that try to decide who will we talk to and who will we not talk to. Oh, that person wouldn't be interested. You never know. You never know who will be interested or not. So as we talk next week, I just want to let you know this, on Friday, for everybody on the call, I will be taking my first real vacation in 9 years. And that's not because I couldn't afford to take a vacation. That's my devotion to this company. And I've had weekend jaunts and extended some travel trips into a Monday so I could go see my family and stuff. But I am going on a cruise on this Friday. And it is a graduation present to my wife for graduating college. And so from Friday the 13th, wow, I just realized that, Friday the 13th. From Friday the 13th until Monday the 23rd, I will be completely out of pocket with no access to a computer or a phone. You don't know how good that makes me feel, but with the excitement that's going on, it's kind of a bittersweet moment because I'm getting emails every day. I'm getting inquiries. I'm getting Facebook hits. We will have the systems in place to handle the inquiries. We will have the systems in place, even though I'm not sitting at the desk, to make sure that individuals are responded to in a timely manner. I am so excited about taking my vacation, but I'm also wish I was here to still be fielding the calls because it is putting an energy inside of me. And so the reason I'm mentioning that is next Monday night, which will be the 16th, and the evening of the 23rd, you all may have already received the email notification. Dr. Joan Hackenstad has graciously agreed to help me out and is going to be doing the first and second lesson of sales track. So you are coming in at absolutely the right time. The first lesson of sales track is with whom do I start? Starting point. She's going to go very deep in where you find people, how you put together your list, your tracking system, everything along those lines. And then lesson 2 is the 15-second commercial. And I do need to let you know something. And you have to get this out to people. When was the last time you all heard John and Skylar on the call? I'm talking Skylar Whitman and John Washanko, the originators of this product, the creative minds behind it, the marketing minds behind it, the money behind the launch of this company, of United First Financial. These are 2 strong, respected, ethical, moral young men that I've worked with now going on 16 years. They're both going to be on the call next Monday night, and they're going to be on the following call. That'll be Monday the 16th, and they will be on the following call on the 23rd. So please get it out to anybody, because if you really want to hear the passion for the product, if you really want to hear the vision of what this product is, have people get on that call and listen to these gentlemen talk for the 5 to 10 minutes they're going to talk, and then Joan's going to go into a very strong and meaty lesson for you. But this is a wonderful opportunity to get a bird's eye view of how the owners of this company, why they did this, why they put it in place. And I'm getting a lot of people come in, well-deserved, my vacation, fantastic, Mac. You need to get people on this call. I can tell you right now, John Washanko does nothing but talk from his heart, and Skylar and John. Skylar, to be honest, is a little more eloquent. But these guys love this product. They love this business. They love the people in the field. They love what they do. And it hasn't always been easy. And I've been in an office right next door to them for 15 years. So I've watched the ups and the downs that have occurred in trying to keep a direct sales company going. Get on the calls, get engaged, get jacked up about it. Facebook, follow us on Facebook. If you have a Facebook account, go to worthunlimited.com. Say you want to follow us. Make comments. Share the videos. The ALOC video is up there. The ALOC presentation is up there. The demo is up there. There's good posts up there. Make comments. Share. Like our page. Worth Unlimited for general company information. That's where you want to go, is Worth Unlimited Facebook page. We need to increase our social footprint. Facebook is the new network marketing. It just is. LinkedIn is another like in kind, and I'm just starting to get up to speed with LinkedIn and starting to put that information in there. Fast start, direct to director, first 30 days, Worth Account Platinum, promote to director. What that basically means is whatever day you sign up with us, starting the clock on that day, if you activate one Worth Platinum or Platinum Plus, the baseline Worth Platinum is $2,250 in volume. If you activate one Worth Platinum or Platinum Plus, you don't come in as a director. You come in, an agent. You're a director. If you do that in your first 30 days, you're going to come in as an agent. And in your first 30 days, you activate one of these, you're going to move to director. Look at the difference in your commission just based on an average $3,100 sale. So, yes, you do get $200. You do get to pass go. Your override spread, if you have an agent or a supervisor and you're a director and they make a $3,100 sale, this is the override that you would receive by being a director. So the time is now. Get in and get involved. Our target for recruiting is a Worth 90-day starter package with coaching. $250 sales price. These are the commissions for bringing somebody into the company and putting them on a 90-day usage of the program. If they come in this way, they come in as a director for 90 days, and once again, they have that 30-day frame to do $2,250 of volume, activate one baseline Platinum or Platinum Plus, and they will keep that rank of director if they do that in the first 30 days. If they convert, they buy their program within the first 30 to 90 days, we'll credit the $250 towards the sale of their lifetime membership, converting from a 90-day usage of the program. So we have some great things that are in place. We have some great things that are coming. Now, you know me. I don't like talking about anything that's coming, so I'm not going to talk about it, but we haven't stopped working. We have some great things that are coming. You are hitting this company at exactly the right time. The October promo, this has been a great success for the past 4 months. I've been rerunning the same promo for 4 months because I've never seen anything give us this type of response. One sale of $22.50, platinum base, you get a bonus of $150. You make a second sale, it's a $250 bonus. You make a third sale, it's $350. But I want you to understand this is accumulative. So if you make a second sale, your first sale becomes a $250 bonus and your second sale becomes a $250 bonus. If you make a third sale, the first and second sales and the third are all $350 bonuses. This is maxed out at 5 platinum or platinum plus sales and a minimum volume of $22.50 per sale. This is paid volume. We do not bonus on finance programs. It's just the way it is. Military and first responders, we have a great deal of respect for military and first responders, and as a result, Worth Unlimited always offers a 10% discount on any lifetime membership to military and first responders. And just a note, we want to thank the military and the first responders because they're always there, keeping our country safe. The first responders being on the front lines of when something goes down. I think about what happened in Las Vegas recently. What a tragedy. And where would we have been without our first responders in that particular situation? So once again, deepest amount of gratitude and respect for our military and first responders. To find out how this goes and the Worth 90-day starter package, the $250 starter package, see your newsworthy blog. That's the news tab in your Worth Agent portal. And you can just type in 90-day starter package. It'll pull up the information for that. Or you can type in first responder or type in military. And it'll pull up all the information that you need to know how to get somebody on the $250 starter package or to qualify somebody for the 10% military or first responder discount. Okay. So now what we're going to talk about is our why and your why. And for those of you that have been around for a while, I'm going to start this off with Darlene Preston. And I'm going to let Darlene talk to you for about 5 minutes, not about defining your why and why that's so important. I want Darlene to tell you her why it is that she's been with this company since the days of United First Financial, why it is that she was on this product, why it is that she continues to be a mover and shaker in the field, why it is she continues to approach people, why it is she observes the 3-foot rule. I want Miss Darlene Preston to enlighten you on her why. Darlene, are you there where you can hear us?
I am. How are you this evening, Mac?
I am doing absolutely wonderful, as you can tell. I'm talking a mile a minute because we're trying to get through a lot of information here. But you've been with us so long. You've known us for so long. The next person we're going to hear from is Dr. Joan Hackenstad. And just tell them your why. I'll go into why it's so important to define it. I'll go into our why and all that. But just take some time here. You have anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes, and just tell them your why. Why does this mean what it means to Darlene Preston? Why is Darlene still in the game?
Okay, well, thank you for the opportunity to share personal reflection here. We've been around a long time. My husband and I do this together, and the most recent why was to bring him home from work so we can, be together and just do the things we want to do. So that happened about 1.5 years ago. We were able to do that. But when we first started this, honestly, my why was to just make enough money to pay the electric bill. And then it was, if I could just make enough money to pay the, bring in enough money with the program, referrals and all that, to pay the mortgage, that would be great. Now, if I can make just enough money to pay the mortgage and the electric bill and the cars, you see where I'm going on that, Mac. That's how it first started. It was just, I don't want to really do this. I don't think I want to do this. It's a great idea, but, we'll see. That didn't take very long for me to change my opinion about why we had to do this. We had to share information, and it was just that it was the way we looked at things, the way I looked at things. You know, some people look at the world around them and they see endless problems and issues and concerns. When I look at the world, I basically look at the unlimited opportunity that's out there to share information. And I did it with my corporate position, and I did it with my other business that I own, and I do it with this. I feel as though there's always an opportunity to share good information. I mean, if you think about what we share nowadays, a good restaurant, a movie, we share that. But now look what we get in reward when we share it with the person. Person becomes debt free, and they become financially free and a different disposition and better things for their family. So it was purely selfish back there, the feeling that I got when a person came on the program and came back to me and said something, you know, thank you for sharing this, or thank you for telling me about this. That was quite addictive, and that grew from there. So I looked at the opportunity that was out there to share information, and it encouraged me to be enthusiastic about what was available to people and what was available to me if I continued to do what I was doing. So even though there were those ups and those downs, my why was to be able to offer something better for others, and in turn also have something for my family. You know, becoming debt free, getting out of the debt that, you know, was there, and it kept growing and growing, never seemed to go away. So just bringing it all the way back around to put your question in perspective. Each person, I'm sure, has their own why, but I developed that why a long time ago, and I kept increasing my why because I was seeing how much more I could offer by keeping my focus on what I was trying to do. Yep, have ups and downs, and people do and don't do, and say and don't say. But you know what? I keep on pushing through even with those ups and downs. So I enjoy successes and achievements, you know, along the way, because I keep that in my goals perspective. I plan on being successful. I want to share this information. And it has changed our life, my husband's and mine and my family's life. And it will continue to change it as long as we continue to share the information. And so that's why I let my why stand in front of me. It's actually on my desk in front of me, where I could always look back there. And I keep the other word focus in front of me. So I try to stay focused even though other things come in the way. So my experience is to continue to experience things and to continue to accomplish goals and meet new people that fall, you know, come in that realm also, that want to share and grow and help others. So I have a pretty big why, Mac, and it does keep growing.
Well, I love what you had to say there. You hit some very key points. And the one thing that I want to pull out of this for all of you, at different seasons in your life, your why will change. Your why will amplify. Sometimes you have those moments, and I know you can agree with me on this, Darlene. You have those moments when you are actually asking yourself why in a negative way. You know, why am I still doing this? But that is the nature of direct sales. Would you agree with that, Darlene?
100%. There are many times you're going to say that. The strength is to keep on going past why am I doing this, to why am I doing this? This is why. So you just have to move it along. Yeah.
And so we want you to understand. Yeah, go on. I'm sorry.
No, I agree with you as to what I'm saying. Yes.
Yeah. We want you to understand that your why will change. It will ebb and it'll flow. I don't know any other way to explain it, because we're just human, and we have those moments when we are just so engaged and so lit up and so on fire that the why is very easy to define. And that why is complex, and that why has been added to over time. And then we have those moments when we have our hands in our face and we're saying, why? And if that other why is defined deep enough, if this program, if the help that you lend to people is truly strong enough, it will get you through those moments when you're questioning why, not in an attitude of determination why. Darlene, I want to thank you so much for taking the time on the call with us and sharing with us. You're always a pleasure to have on the call, and just thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All righty. All right. So I was going to go off on this battery of whys, but I've got people coming in that I know, and I know they've been around us for a while. And I'm going to go to somebody else here, and he doesn't know I'm going to call on him, but I'm going to go to Pete Abraham. And Pete Abraham, Pete, are you there where you can hear us? It seems like you're on mute, like you're self-muted. Because I'm trying to pull you on the call, and it says that you're self-muted. So I don't know if you didn't dial in on the call. Can you type in, and we'll see if we can correct that for you. And if you could type into the question section or give me something there that I can help you, I'll do that. But in the meantime, I'm going to roll over to Dr. Joan Hackenstad, and I'm going to let her tell you the exact same thing, but in her words of what her why is. Dr. Hackenstad, are you there where we can hear you?
I am. Can you hear me?
Of course, we can hear you perfectly. How are you doing this evening, Joan?
Wonderful. I am well, thank you. How are you?
I am doing very well. You've been around for a while, haven't you?
I've been here for a little bit, just over a decade now.
Isn't that amazing? And you're still doing this.
And I'm loving it still. I just can't get away from it. I just love it. Well, let me start from the beginning.
Let's give it out to them. Let's let them know.
All right. So it kind of started, I used to be a shrink, and my specialty was crisis intervention. So I dealt with suicidal, homicidal, schizophrenic, psychotic, people that were in imminent danger to themselves or others. And I literally talked them off the ledge. In that type of career, it's kind of a little bit dangerous at times. And my straight-laced engineer husband did not like it when I would come home and say, hey, Eric, you need to watch your back. You got threatened at work today. So he begged and pleaded for me to have a career change. And I hemmed and hawed quite a bit, but my marriage was a lot more important. So I was looking for something that would allow me to still give back, but I had to have something that was ethical. I had to have something that was unwavering authenticity. I needed something that there was no doubt would do what I said it would do, that would be all that it would be. And I just had to find something that felt like a calling. Psychology for me was always a calling. And so for me to try something new was just, really? No. So it took me a long time. I kind of threw a little bit of a temper tantrum and chose not to work for a while, much to my husband's chagrin. And I got into financial services eventually and was introduced to Worth Unlimited, and well, at the time, United First Financial, and I fell in love. Now, at the same time, so my why was answered at that point because I finally found something that allowed me to accomplish all that I could back in my psych days. I was giving back. I was still doing something to help other people, and I could make significant money on that. My why, just like Darlene, started to change, though. I really needed to create more choices and more options for my family. My husband and I had a child. So my husband ran an aerospace company, and he worked a lot. And by a lot, I mean, holy cannoli, a lot. We barely saw him. My poor son just wondered, gosh, is Daddy coming home today? Is Daddy on another trip? Is Daddy out with NASA? Where is Daddy now? So he didn't really get to see his dad all that much. And I knew that things needed to change because I could see how that impacted my husband. He would just get so upset knowing that our son preferred to be with me because he didn't know him as well. And there's nothing that Eric did wrong. Eric's a phenomenal father. It's just that I spent more time with him. So Eric always called it the golden handcuffs because he made great money. But it was a choice. Either I'm handcuffed to my job or I get to spend time with my family. What's it going to be? So I needed to find something to unshackle those golden handcuffs. And so for me, my why started to really shift. It was really focusing on the client side of things with Worth Unlimited because I am a client, and it was focusing on the agent side. On the client side, I really needed to get rid of that debt because the only way that Eric could unleash those handcuffs is if we didn't have debt and we had the financial ability to actually allow him to quit. Now, the other side of that is I needed to make enough money to allow him the opportunity to quit if he wanted to. I didn't want him to quit just because we had the financial means to do so. I wanted him to have the choice. if he wanted to continue doing what he was doing in the aerospace industry because he loves it and he's really good at it, then I wanted him to be able to do that. However, if he also really felt like he didn't want to be there, that he needed to spend more time with family, that he wanted to do his own thing, buy his own business, whatever it may be, I wanted him to have that opportunity as well. And so a few years into it, of changing how we dealt with our finances, paying down as much debt as we could, saving as much as we could, dealing in real estate, really kind of expanding our portfolio. About 2 years ago, Eric did quit his job. We moved to Michigan, bought a business, cash, franchise brick and mortar business so that he could run that and actually still feel good. And we fulfilled his why. So you ask why I continue to go back to this? Because I see what it's done to my family. Yes, we did well financially. We were very blessed. Please don't take that as me trying to be egotistical. We did not do anything right financially until we got on this program, until we saw and really started implementing the banking strategies that this program taught us. I believe in this program so much because I live it. I see what it's done for our family day in and day out. I see what it's allowed us to do. So for me, it's my moral and ethical obligation to share it with people. That's my why. And then just to add just real quick on top of that, for me also, I hear the word no, just like everybody else. So I usually have a picture. I have a vision board where I put a picture of my husband, a picture of my son. I have pictures of things that I can see that remind me of things I want or I want to accomplish in my life. And so when I hear the word no, because it's often when I'm on the phone or face-to-face with somebody, I can kind of look behind them. Or if I'm on the phone, I can just simply turn to my vision board. And I'm reminded of my why. I'm reminded why I do this. I'm reminded of what motivates me. So yes, I hear the word no, and I just can sweep it behind me because I see that vision. I see what I want. I see that goal in front of me constantly. And that reminds me, this is just no for now. It's not no for good. Let's move on and let's find the next person that needs to have their life changed. So that's my why.
I don't even know where to pick up on that one. What I'm going to say is to bring that one all together. She lives and breathes it. And she has seen, Dr. Joan has seen what it has done for her family. Darlene had a very similar story in the context that she wanted to get her husband out of her job. I mean, that's just strange that both of them have a similar situation, and both of them have used the product. Joan, you've had the moments of why as well, right? Where it's not why
absolutely.
I do this because of this, but it's why am I still doing this? Can you talk to
Yes.
us just a little bit about that?
Absolutely. And honestly, I had a little time when we first moved out to Michigan. We had just purchased a new business for my husband. My husband was a chief technical officer, didn't know how to do sales. My dad just passed away. So I had a lot of personal things happening, and it really distracted me from what I was doing with work. And quite frankly, I had to, and wanted to choose doing the other things over work. So I did get distracted. And it just kept eating at me. Why am I not focusing on what I love? So yes, I absolutely have those times. I have those times where I feel like I'm beating my head against the brick wall too. But then I just go back and I see my vision board. I go back and I sit down and I realize, what the heck has this truly done for me? And I just get back on track. So this is a part of me. This is what I live and breathe, and I cannot fathom not being a part of it.
Fantastic. I hope you all appreciate what you're hearing. And Joan, you know how appreciative I am to you and the things that you've done. And we look forward to, I'm sure the field looks forward to as well, you giving the presentation next Monday and the following Monday, and having John and Skylar on that call. And I just want to thank you openly for being so courteous to do that for us and just take the lead.
My pleasure.
And get that handled. And so,
and thank you for thinking of me for that. So thank you.
Yeah, no worries at all. So once again, thank you for jumping on the call with us, Joan, and just thank you for everything you do.
My pleasure.
All righty. Okay, we're getting near that wrap-up time. I wanted to bring two people on that have been on for a while. I wanted to get Pete Abraham on, and Pete was having difficulty with his audio, and I think in him trying to redial back in and get reconnected, he's had a little difficulty. And had another young lady I was going to bring on, but she happens to be in a clinic right now with her mom. I just got a text from her. And oddly enough, she is sitting in the clinic with her mom, and she is listening to this webinar. Sorry about the low sound. I moved my microphone away from my mouth there for a moment while I was texting, and when I had a little cough there. But anyway, apparently everybody can hear me now fine. I want you to understand something. Most people that are doing this because they truly believe in it. Because either they've had situations in their life that this program has helped them overcome. This situation, they've had situations where this program has re-educated them or made them reevaluate their position or look at their finances in a different way. We have people that have been involved in this company that have witnessed absolute life change, not just as a result of being an agent and selling the product and making great money doing that, but the lives that they have touched through offering this program and the success that other people have seen in the utilization of this program. We have so many people that are crusaders for this program. It's dyed in the wool. You heard Joan say, I just can't imagine this not being a part of who I am. You heard Darlene say, my why has been defined and evolved over time, but I keep coming back. I can't give it up. Well, people, let me tell you on my side, I went through a bankruptcy in 2001 because I walked off a job. I was put into an ethical position on a job in 2001 and would not compromise my ethics. And it caused me to walk off a job. I had been married at that time for only 5 years. I had a 4-year-old daughter and a 3-year-old son. And walking off that job, I didn't have coffers. I had just bought a home. I didn't have a lot of money in reserve, but I couldn't compromise my ethics. And I actually ran into John Washenko. And I had been in the car industry, and I had been in service, and now I was in sales, and I was the sales manager for a dealership here in the Salt Lake City area. And John Washenko, one of the creators of this program, walked onto my car lot and talked to one of the salesmen I was in charge of, and he was getting ready to drive off. And I remember running out the front door, and as John was getting in his car, getting ready to close his door, I approached him, got him not to close the door, got him to engage in a conversation with me, asked him what the problem would be, and the problem was, he said, well, your salesman wouldn't give me a price. And I said, well, I can do that for you, but they're trained not to give you a price. And he looked a little miffed by that, but I think I said the right thing to the right person because John had been in sales. And, until you build value in anything, whether it be our products, cell phones, insurance, until you build value, you don't just blurt out a price. You make sure you have a player. So I worked through the process with John, and I must tell you, John was one of the hardest sales I've ever done in my life, but I ended up selling him a Honda Pilot for his mom. So John hands me a card and says, if you're ever interested, we'd love to talk to you about it. Well, I was like, hey, I'm making great money where I'm at, and really don't need to do anything else. But when he drove off the lot, I'm thinking to myself, I'm kind of sick of this car industry. I've been in it for 22 years. And as fate would have it, I finally did get sick of the industry, and about 2.5 weeks later, I contacted John and said, does the offer still stand to come in and interview? And so I came in, and I remember coming into a small office. They had quite a few loan officers working underneath them, and they were running a mortgage brokerage. And I remember these two young men, Skylar and John, interviewing me in short pants, a pair of tennis shoes, and a T-shirt with baseball caps on. Now, at this point in my life, in 2002, this was late 2001, I would have been 40, 40 years of age. Yeah, because I was born in 61. I'd have been 40 years of age. And these young men, I'm 15 years their senior. And they're asking me questions like, what is your 5-year plan? And I'm thinking to myself, you're not old enough to ask me that question. And I actually backed myself up, and I listened to everything they had to say. And they told me you would come to work, you would do mortgages. There is no salary. It is all commission. You'll take phone calls all day long, and you'll try to put mortgages together. And I thought to myself, wow, this is a change from what I have been used to being on a car lot, and they gave me the hours and told me it'd be hard work. Well, long story short, I took the job. I did mortgages with them up until about 2004 when John and Skylar approached me and said, hey, we want to show you something we've been working on and see what you think about it. And what that was the first iteration of what we know to be the Worth Account program. At that time, it was actually called the Principal First Account, and it was version 1. And I remember them sitting down with me and showing me this program, and about 15 minutes into it, I don't know why, I didn't really know finance that great. I had made some good decisions. I was currently, I had been through a bankruptcy from walking off the job, so I had lost my house. I'd lost everything. And I'm sitting here looking at this program, and 15 minutes into it, I said, hold on, I got this. I get it. And John says, what do you get? And I said, at the very least, if I had somebody just working on my debt 24 hours a day, calculating the quickest way for me to get out of debt with the amount of money that I currently have on hand, that would do a lot better than what I could do on my own. But I see a lot more in this program. But that's the first thing I see, is that for 24 hours a day, this thing is just calculating, and it has one focus and one focus only: my debt, my income, and getting me to a liquid position. So I see that. And I see how valuable that could be. But the other thing that I see is the financial education piece in here. Because they had showed me a little bit about funds transfers and how it auto-generates. I said, this thing is like it's on autopilot. This is like having a GPS for your finances. I get it. The next question was, do you think you could sell it? Well, as this turns out, we end up doing a test market from 2005 to 2006 in Denver, Colorado, and I was the individual that led that test market. And in the matter of 1 year, I had put 398 clients on this product, and at this time, we did not have GoToMeeting. At this time, we couldn't even show them the product. There wasn't a way to do it because it was online and web-based. We couldn't do a demonstration. Everything that you know about the product and PowerPoints and demos, I had to explain to them over a telephone and get them to write down with pencil and paper. Well, that was the beginnings of them. After we went through that test market, they're like, my goodness, we might really have something here. And we launched United First Financial, which ran all the way until the mortgage collapse in 2008. And we still survived through that mortgage collapse, through the mortgage meltdown. Our clients, the individuals that we had made the commitment to, the clients that purchased the product, we maintained customer support from the time we sold the first product to today. We went through some tough times in 2008, like every other company did. We had to close the initial field force in April of 2011 because you couldn't get home equity lines of credit. We were trying to retool the product. We never walked away from our clients, our purchasers of the program, and I think that speaks volumes for John and Skylar and the ethic and the moral and the value of this company. Well, here we are now as Worth Unlimited, relaunched in 2013. And this product is stronger and better than it's ever been. So I'll tell you my why. It's because it's part of my blood. It is absolutely part of who I am. This program, this company, changed my life dramatically. And yes, I'm getting a little choked up. But this is reality. I live and breathe this product. Because over my 9.5, almost 10 years of delivering this product to people, my 9.5 to 10 years of this product being on the market, we're going on 12 years now. We're coming into 2018. I've been the national sales and training director from this company from the moment it launched. in 2006. And I have never turned back. I have seen this dramatically change people's lives. I remember having a conversation with a lady in Louisiana and her sitting in the car and saying, Mac, all I need is $5,000 a month and I live very well. And I said, well, I've got a little bit of a shock for you because I've looked at the numbers and next month you're going to be getting a check for $22,000. And she asked me a question. She said, "What? I don't deserve that kind of money." That was her first statement. The second thing is, what am I going to do with that kind of money? And if you fall into that bracket, I mean, these are the type of stories we know about this company and we know about this product. I said to her, if you don't feel you deserve that kind of money, then why don't you take the $5,000, put that in the bank for yourself to take care of your bills, and why don't you donate $17,000 to your favorite charity? Why don't you donate it to your church? Why don't you walk it over to the next door neighbor that you know is struggling and pay off a credit card debt? Why don't you introduce this to every single person you know? Inside of a year, you're going to be a millionaire if you stay with this company. And the truth of the matter was, inside of a year, she was more than a millionaire because she invested her money. And that woman today is doing very well. And these stories go on and on and on. I remember an individual that wanted to get her father, and I've told this story before, back to Normandy that fought in the Second World War. Never thought she'd be able to do it. Single mom, taking care of her dad, taking care of a kid, working a job. Never thought she'd have the money to do it. Got on the program, got herself out of debt. I get a phone call from her 3 years after she's on the program telling me the story that she was able to afford to take her dad back to Normandy to see his friends, his comrades, that had died in arms, that she was able to do that for him. And the touching part about this story was not just that she was able to do that, but that she was so proud of being able to do that. And the end of that story is that the father, after he returned from Normandy, actually passed away 1 month later. So his time was limited for the ability to be able to do this. People, this is life-changing. Your why should be very easy to define because it helps people. Your why should be very easy to define because it's moral, it's ethical, it's right. Your why should be very easy to define, especially if you get on this product yourself and you see what it does for your finances. Your why should be what drives you. Your why should be rooted in your soul. This is a product that changes lives. This is a company that stands behind a product that is moral, right, and ethical. This is a company with integrity. This is a company that always stands up. And we are proud of what we do for a living. And we are proud of the people in the field. Now, I know I got a little choked up through this, but my why is very deep. And yes, I've had my moments when my hand is in my head, or my head is in my hands, and I'm asking myself, why am I still doing this? And all I have to do is think of one of those stories. Think of one of the people in the field that's had great success. Think of one of the people in the field that was struggling and had a conversation with me or Skylar or John or another leader, and it flipped them around and it changed their life. Do me a favor, people, tonight. Take the time to define your why. Why is it you want to do this? Why is it you want to deliver it? And why would you be able to stay in the game? And I think if you look at it closely, you're going to see that everything I've said, everything that Jonas said, everything that Darlene has said is 100% true. We love what we do, and we want to thank everybody for being on this call this evening. So let's get out there and do it big. Let's get out there and do it right. But at the very least, let's get out there and do something big right now. This is Max Saunders saying bye-bye for now.